Hey, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Oh, we got a new one. Death Scythe from Oklahoma. Welcome to the stream. All day, anime all day. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. We're finally here. Now, as most of you are used to by now, I am very bad at prepping. So I gotta do add some final touches before we start discussing the chapter. So just bear with me. Well, I hope you guys are doing okay. The chapter was actually fucking insane. If you were not here yesterday, I've already read the chapter. So right now we're just doing the discussion. I'm gonna pull up the chapter and we're gonna go more in depth on what happened, because there was a lot, not just the ending. There was a lot that was discussed that I want to go more in depth for. It was crazy, yeah. It really was crazy. Blackbeard Hype, yeah. Rox D Teach, his actual real name, Rox D Teach, which is crazy. Wait, did the? Oh fuck, there's no music. Hold up. There it is. Okay, and I'm seeing. Okay, people are already dropping likes. Good shit. And if you guys haven't done it yet, of course, make sure to help me out by dropping a like on the stream and subscribing if you enjoy the stream. Loki's my favorite post-time skip character. Ooh, so I have high hopes for him, but I need to see more before I can put him up that high. But I really like him so far. No, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Like I'm forgetting something. Look, all right. Let's switch scene. Damn, my hair looks like shit once again. There we go. Let's pull up some proper One Piece music, which is more appropriate. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. As for favorite post-time skip characters, for me, I would say I mean, it's in my name. Oden is definitely up there. Oden, Karakuri, and Kaido. Those are my top three, in no particular order. And if I would have to choose, I would put Katakuri number 1, Oden number 2, Kaido number 3. And Kaido has still, in my opinion, still has potential to rise to the top with a potential Rox flashback. Yeah, Rox's design goes really fucking hard. He looks really dope. Like when I first saw him, I looked at him and he looked so familiar. I couldn't point my finger on it, but he looked so familiar. But that, yeah, he's Blackbeard's dad, which makes sense. Theo, please, for the love of Christ. All right, let's get started, I guess. If there's any issues with the stream, please let me know. If there's any lag or the audio sounds bad or anything, because I'm getting some errors. So if there's some issues, feel free to let me know, then I'll try to fix it. All right. Yeah, and it's the chapter, second best chapter of the year. If the mural chapter did not come out this year, this would have been the best one by far. But this chapter is a lot more balanced compared to the mural chapter, because the mural in of itself took the spotlight. It stole all the attention from the entire chapter. But this chapter it's very balanced. Like there was something in every panel. And we got so much information. The conversation between Harold and Ja Rule was just amazing. Yeah, mural. I need more from the mural. I need more from it. I need to see more. Okay, let's see. So we start with 63 years ago with Big Mom, as we all know what happened back then. We got that during the Whole Cake Island flashback. How Big Mom pretty much ruined that village in Elbaf and killed all her. Ate, not even killed, just ate them up. Ate Mother Caramel and her and the other kids, and everyone was there. But this is the first interesting part. A famine that was not mentioned before. Like, we were here with Big Mom's flashback, but a famine was not mentioned there. And I'm guessing this is just used as a vehicle to showcase everyone's hatred towards Loki by putting the blame on him. So I don't think there's any weird stuff going on with the what's it called, with the famine. But it's more so just to showcase how quick people were willing to throw Loki under the bus. Oh wait, shit. Is stream lagging? Hold up. Testing one. Okay, it looks good. It looked like it was lagging for a bit. Anyway, let's continue. So we have Estrid being the foul human being she is. Oh, and if you see me suddenly run away or act aggressively, once again a fly has snuck in. Actually, so the moment I get my chance, I'm gonna jump and try to kill it because it's so fucking annoying. Yo, Jay, what up? Welcome to the stream. You made it. So let's see how far we can milk out this chapter. Because, like I said, it's... Yo, XGC, haven't seen you in a minute either. How you doing? People pulling up. Good shit. I've just started. I'm actually surprised by the amount of interactions the live reaction got. Usually I get like around 10 to 12 likes on the video on the stream, but the chapter got 24 likes, which is kind of insane. Not busy? Okay, good shit. Lectures have started, yep. The One Piece lectures have started. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. And as I was saying earlier, if you see me suddenly, once again, jumping away aggressively, and once again in a fight with a fly, So the moment I get my chance. Nice stream, thank you. Okay, so Estrid, once again, being the foul human being she is. Oh, you're like... Oh, I thought you meant the one... Wait, on a Saturday? Damn, okay, that sucks. I thought you meant like the discussion being a lecture. So she wants nothing to do with Loki, and Loki just walking through the door, which was actually insane. And like baby Loki is the size of an adult giant, which... Huh? Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Fair enough. Yeah, I see what you mean. Fair enough. Shadow Kage. Wait, is that... Are you the Shadow from... Or a different Shadow? Yeah, how you doing? Because there's a Shadow in my chat and Discord, but the name is different. Oh, you are the Shadow. Okay, fair enough. You changed your name a little bit. Fair enough. Okay. So yeah, Loki. Baby Loki, the size of an adult giant, which... Still insane. With demonic eyes. Crying. Yeah, she's foul. She's a garbage mother. So yeah, the kid's crying because of the famine. It's previously because it happens. I mean, time zones. I'm in Europe. It happens. That sort of stuff. And this part of the giants sort of getting aggressive and even to the point of blaming what's his face, Hajruden. What pissed me about it the most is that shit happens in real life. Like, people will blame anyone if shit doesn't go their way. Like, whether it's foreigners, based on anything, the religion, gender, anything. They always resort to that. And in this case, Oda is showcasing that by putting the blame on the brother of a baby who has done nothing wrong. If my kid have eyes like that, it means he's the main character. I mean, if I ever have a kid and their eyes look like that, straight to the doctor just to see if things are okay. Let the doctor check it out. If it's fine, then it's fine. Yeah, this old fuck, he's cursed. And the bitterness festered as spirits broke. So yeah, these old fucks come to Hajruden. And Ida trying to protect him, of course, because she is a good mother. This fucking weirdo was about to kill her, but Harold comes in. Harold punches him to the ground. And I also pointed out yesterday, like, how much he looks like he looks more like Kaido here than in the painting. Like, in that one painting, people were pointing out that it looks like Kaido, but it was still a bit iffy. But no, it's actually a lot. Like, he straight up looks like Kaido. Was that from a long time ago? I mean, orange hair girl was born in Europe. Oh, yeah, fair enough. So King Harold saves the day because of his previous efforts in cooperation and doing business with neighboring islands and countries have paid off. They've filled up, like, looks like an endless amount of ships. Like on this frame alone, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 full with food and supplies. So Harold's showing how it's done. Despite the restrictions, because he was not able to do business with countries affiliated with the world government, he still managed to like get something done. And this is like this is the fruits of it showing. And I like the comically large bags of food. It also serves as a tool to showcase why giants are usually always nice to humans. If these good folk are ever in a pinch, it'll be our job to return the favor with all our might. Remember, this tiny world is ours to share. So whenever the final war happens, I don't think it's necessarily that they'll side with Luffy, but with humans in general. Then again, there's barely any warriors of Elbaf left. Like, there's the giant pirates and the new giant pirates. Like, other than that, there's a severe lack of giant warriors. So a giant One Piece is more like Vikings, makes sense why he... Oh yeah, exactly. Like, they are modeled after Vikings, but they're like more... Oda is portraying them more honorable. At least in the present time. I mean, the giants were feared all over the world because of King Harold. And then Estrid dies and gets a funeral that is too good for her, to be honest. Like, a funeral for her should not be this big, not this grandiose. Considering the kind of mom she was and how kind of fucked she was in general. Like, her vibes were already fucked before having Loki. But then when Loki came, she showed her true colors. And this is the one gripe that I have with the chapter, I guess. Not necessarily with the chapter, but like with the logic that's being showcased. Like, how does Harold not know that Loki is that hated by the country? Only reason why Loki's life is this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, it was Estrid who spread the rumors about him being a curse to the country. And it spread and people believed it. And then the famine happened, and people were like, "Oh, it is actually because of Loki." Typical One Piece parent, but like Harold is treating Loki nice. He's treating Loki how a parent is supposed to treat him. Like, I guess he did not notice that he was hated by the country, and left it in the mother's brother, who was also a piece of shit. Harold was never there at the birth. Oh, I mean, Estrid tried to hide it. Like, she told there was no baby. She was like, tell everyone there was a miscarriage. No baby was born tonight. It did not happen. And then we have the guards lying to him. Or are they lying because they say he was born with a condition that affects his eyes? Well, he could see, but... And then Harold was like, I understand. What a pity. So during all the time Loki being hated by people, at least Mother was never revealed to be... Wait, so during all the time Loki being hated by people, at least Mother was never revealed to be evil. I guess, yeah. I mean, he could have at least taken Loki with him on the travels. Like that, Loki would have been better off that way. Or give him to Ida. Ida would have been a better choice. Ida would have loved, like, Ida would have loved to take care of him. But then again, I think the higher ups wouldn't allow it. Like the shadowy figures we saw a couple chapters ago, that were like, no, you cannot marry Ida. You have to marry Astrid. And this was a wild statement, wild sentence. At only a few months old, Loki had given up on love, which is fucking wild. Yeah, the Harrows wouldn't let their prince be taken care of by a low... Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't understand what kind of power they have. Because Harold is king. So why do they have such power over him? And they were... Like, Oda did not show what they looked like. They were a silhouette. So I wonder if they're from, like, the realm of heaven. That we haven't seen yet. Harold's diplomacy soon started to bear fruit, and Elbaf's winter finally came to a close. Oh my god! Oh, hold up. I just had a crazy thought. Hold up. You don't... Nah, I don't think that's the case. So, Loki was born. And in that same year, a famine happened. A supposed winter which destroyed all the crops and was not... Do you think that's probably a play on Fimbulwinter? Because Fimbulwinter in the Norse mythology... Fimbulwinter happens right before Ragnarok. And considering Loki is supposedly a destroyer, him being born and a famine happening, I wonder if that's actually like a play on Fimbulwinter. They don't have power over him. He's just a king. Oh, guy made puppets like Flea Admiral, for example, getting tossed around. Well, I get that, but like, why is... I feel like Hell is not one to like being walked over like that. Oh wait, what? It could be the yeah, because Loki's interpretation of Nika is a destroyer, not a liberator. And Ragnarok, Ragnarok in One Piece being the final war. I don't think Ragnarok will be exclusive to elbaf only. I think it'll be worldwide. Like the final war will be Ragnarok, the Ragnarok equivalent. Maybe he's the key or for something. Maybe. Depends on the because I just got chills. Holy shit! Because I had another realization. We're probably gonna get a reveal of what Loki's devil fruit is in this flashback. Because we haven't. I was gonna say we don't know what Loki's devil fruit is, and right now we're seeing all of Loki's life. And depending on what the devil fruit is, yeah. And I kind of have two. I mean, not theories per se, but like what I want. Why are there balloons? Stop! I did not trigger balloons, but there's two possibilities that I want. The obvious choice, which is related to Norse mythology, would be Surtur, like a mythical fruit model Surtur, and Surtur is like pretty much the one that like the destroyer of Ragnarok during Ragnarok. That's one option, but the one that I want more, a second Nika fruit. And not be since Luffy would then have Nika the Liberator. What if Loki, because so many people believe in it, or so many giants believe in it, or are afraid of it and believe in it, a second Nika Destroyer fruit exists? Which to me would be really dope. Wait, don't you think it's weird Loki being named after Norse mythos and only having a hammer? What seemed to be powerful of lightning. Why do I get Thor feeling? I mean, I've been waiting for Thor this whole time, but the more time passes on elbaf, the less hope, like the less hope I have of like actually meeting like Odin and Thor and the other Norse gods. Because we met Sleipnir, like the eight-legged horse. That's Odin's horse in the Norse mythology, but they just named him Asura. But his real name in the mythology is Sleipnir. And Sleipnir in the Norse mythology is Loki's child. Yo, Loki's fruit could be the fruit belonging to the Admiral Oh, good. Didn't think of that. Harold was revealing with may have. Fair enough. And Rox was on elbaf. Okay, that's a possibility, but if it's that legendary of a fruit, I don't think the world government will give it to an admiral. That's the only counter that I have. Like, I feel like the world government will be greedy enough to like give such a powerful fruit to maybe a Gorosei or a someone above, someone outside of the Marines. So like negative, yeah. So you know, because it was mentioned that the giants on elbaf, they have multiple interpretations of what Nika is. Some believe he is a liberator, and some fear he's a destroyer. And because both beliefs exist, there is a possibility that a Nika destroyer fruit exists. Vegapunk said that devil fruits are created because people simply wished for them to exist. So if enough people are afraid of it and believe it exists, and then we have Loki, who wants to be a destroyer and believes that Nika is a destroyer, what's to stop from a destroyer Nika fruit existing? Now, the guy who killed Rox seemed to be the previous user of the ice fruit. I mean, they still have to maintain the... Wait, the guy who killed Rox? You mean the guy who Rocks killed? But there's no proof of what you said. Like, all we got was a narrator bubble, narrator text. There's nothing to base that theory off. But to me, it would be really dope if there's a second Nika, one being a destroyer. And I wouldn't be mad at it if the giant straw hat in Merjois would be worn by Loki. And it would add up. There's theory thought? Okay, fair enough. How do I say it? Okay, how do I say it? So you know how, when I think about it, Jordan might have been giant himself. I mean, most likely we. Then again, we saw Joy Boy next to Emeth, and he seemed like a regular sized human. If Loki wants to destroy by nature, if Emo uses no reversing on him, would he become good or opposite of a destroyer? Reverse, he would be like, huh? I guess it depends on like how Nemu's powers actually work. If it's like actual reverse, then maybe he becomes good. But I don't think he's a bad guy now. Like not a full-on bad guy. You were eating? Let's see. So, Madame Shirley's prophecy was a man with a straw hat destroying Fishman Island. So far... Oh, I was in chat. Oh, okay, fair enough. Loki... If Loki has a second Nika fruit, then he might be the one who destroys, quote-unquote, Fishman Island. The red line being a giant serpent. So far, we have seen nothing that can even chip it away. I don't. With the exception of Loki, like the attack that Loki, like when Loki hits the Atom Tree with the hammer, that was some crazy power. If the red line is an actual snake, that would be a way to wake it up. I don't think there could be a second Nika fruit, kind of a liberator warrior fruit. What did the strike even accomplish at the end? I mean, it set pretty much have the island on fire. Like the giants were mobilizing en masse to put out the fires. It created like there was a fuck ton amount of lightning, and lightning and fire is the weakness of elbaf. Many questions how Harold able to sneak into Reverie, but I forgot. No, that was actually a question I had. I was like, how the fuck did someone sneak Harold inside Merjois? mean, so far, because of I'm simply more siding on with that theory because of Vegapunk, because he said that people's desires, essentially people's desires, turn into devil fruits, and since Vegapunk gave us that statement, the existence of a Nika destroyer, a warrior of destruction. I will not dismiss that until we actually get the. I'm betting on that theory, and I'm guessing within a couple chapters we're gonna get the Devil Fruits reveal of Loki. If I'm right, I'm right, and if I'm wrong, so be it. I'm more interested in Gunko and Brook than. There's. Things are not adding up with that. Because if I recall. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I recall correctly, it was mentioned that Gunko was recruited as a normal human into being a holy knight. So Gunko was not a born celestial dragon, correct? But then, I think Oda came out and said that Gunko is part of a certain noble celestial dragon family. Like with the last name and all. So if Gunko is a born celestial dragon, then I don't see how Brook and Gunko would know each other. But then again, Brook does know about the existence of holy knights. Except seeing the back that okay. Quite hard to smuggle an ancient giant on top of the red line. I am smelling a second backstory of Brook, which is about to destroy that. Oof. I don't know if it would be being as sad as Kuma's. Wally release gave her a family name. Manmayer, that's the one. Brook is celestial dragon. That would break my heart. You think Rox is still alive? I honestly have no idea. He might? He might be alive? So people are speculating that Rox had the Opi no Mi. If that's the case, then he's not alive because Law has the fruit now. But, Milo sent a theory in my Discord, a TikTok theory about Zebek having actually having had the Opi no Mi, and by performing the immortality surgery, you do that by transferring your heart to someone else by giving that person 2 hearts. So the theory was essentially Zebek gave his heart to Little Blackbeard, and that's why he was able to eat 2 devil fruits. And that's why he's able to like not sleep at night, which that part I'm not buying into. Yo, Mila, I would just mention you. Holy shit. Missing that sucks, but you have a good one with enjoy your time. And it is possible that Zebek had the Opi no Mi because he was able to vanish without a trace in Merjois. Yeah, the theory was interesting, not fully accurate. Yeah, but the one thing that I'm not buying into is the sleep thing. Oh, and I forgot to reply to you because you asked when that was mentioned. But when Luffy was running, when Nami was sick, and Luffy was running, carrying her to Kureha and Chopper, he was running alongside Sanji, and while they were running, they were having like silly conversations, and Luffy said something along the lines, I think that Shanks told him about a tribe that doesn't sleep. Let me pull that panel up. Luffy. How do I even Google it? Here, look at this. So they were running. Luffy has Nami on his back. And Luffy says, by the way, did you know that people who live in snow countries don't sleep? Why not, says Sanji. And then Luffy says, if they fall asleep, they'll die. So it's to snow country specifically. And we don't... That doesn't fully add up if it's only snow countries. But maybe there's a possibility that Luffy misinterpreted what was said, told to him. I vaguely remember that Shanks told him that, but I could be wrong on that. Like, there's, for some reason it's in my mind that Shanks told him that, but I can't tell where that's from. Zabek might be a Holy Knight who went berserk. I mean, he's a D. I don't think Emu would have a Holy Knight who's a D. It would be more interesting if it was, because Shanks was interested in Blackbeard, and he was jealous because Blackbeard was not able to sleep, and thus giving him more time to enjoy life. Let's say with Admiral. Oh, okay. Could be. I don't know. I really want to see which Admiral he killed. I don't know how people reading the official are dodging spoilers and fuck it. Yeah, I'm so glad I read it on Thursday night and not on Friday. I would have been spoiled. I would not have been able to avoid those. You would have to live like a monk, like no technology whatsoever. Go live in a cave, no internet. Damn, that's crazy. We're drifting off? I mean, not really. It's all tied together. It's a phenomenon that dated back to 600 years something ago. People in snowy areas don't sleep much because of fear that... okay, that's interesting. So Oda could like take that and like incorporate it into his story, but like however he wants. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, Ja Rule. Ja Rule's house 56 years ago. And he's sitting with Harold. And then here they say, you were at the scene of the reverie incident, Harold. And when I was reading this, I was like, what incident? I don't remember an incident 56 years ago. But that is Rocks killing an admiral. So far, there have been 3 incidents in Merijois that we know of. The first one is the one from 200 years ago with Emeth. Then we have Zabek killing an admiral. And the third one is the latest reverie with the revolutionaries going rampaging on there. Wait, I meant the discussion can be done after reading, or we might forget that part. I mean, well, I'm just going with the flow wherever it takes me. And then Harold says, "My friend was one of the invited kings. He smuggled me as one of his guards." Like, how do you even do that? Unless it's King Neptune's great-grandfather, or like King Neptune's grandfather, then he might have been able to pull it off. I couldn't ask the questions I wanted without blowing my cover. What if he was smelling? There's no, he was hidden. Like he's saying he was not seen. And he says, if that murder hadn't happened, I might have been exposed. Damn, King Harold. King of Stealth. If that murder hadn't happened, I might have been exposed. Hold up. I couldn't question what I wanted without blowing my cover. So Harold wanted to ask someone something over there. But then an admiral got killed. And in the last chapter or the chapter before that, Gabon wanted to ask Harold something. And then Harold got killed. Or no, or was it Shanks? I think it was Shanks who wanted to ask Harold something. It would not surprise me if they're tied together. Hold up, music. Then we have Jarul. If you were caught, all this would be the least of your worries. Haven't you heard the tale of the Galera? Oh, right, this part. The Galera Hammer Company. And then Harold says they're a gruff troop of giant shipwrights that are armed themselves with warhammers, right? I thought they were just a myth. And this part was so interesting to read, holy shit. Maybe he had something that messed with people's sizes as a delve through the sword. Either that, or he was able to cast invisibility on him, or who knows? The Galera Warhammer Company. Ganji is great hammer battalion. Brigada might be a spin on the Galila. But Harold might have been something that... Might have seen something that he shouldn't have seen, yeah. Just like Sabo did. But Sabo was able to infiltrate because he's a normal human. I don't think Harold, with his size, is able to pull that off. And then Jarul, no, they existed. They really did travel far and wide, sending letters back to Elbaf. I received the final letter myself. It said they'd all been captured. Can you believe it? Over 100 warriors that were taken prisoners, including ancient giants. Now, how in the fuck were they captured? Now, let me pull that up. That was in Punk Hazard. Wait. One Piece, Punk Hazard. This is so crazy because I do not remember this at all. Because apparently, in Punk Hazard, there were frozen giants. Oh, which could be the real... Oh, okay, that's fair. But from what Harold had been acting, as far-fetched, yeah, it doesn't add up too much. And I think they mostly killed him because he stopped cooperating somehow, some way. Then, the winds of the netherworld. Cold, impel down, level 4. Cold, don't sleep, you die. In the netherworld, the dead don't sleep. Blackbeard is actually dead. Rox resurrected his dead son somehow. The winds of the netherworld. Cold, impel down, level 4. Don't sleep or you die. The netherworld doesn't... The netherworld, the dead don't sleep. Blackbeard is actually dead, but how did he die though? And if your theory is correct, then he saved his... Then I would assume he put the immortality surgery on Blackbeard. If that's the case, then he should be able to sleep at night. without dying. You can actually see there's giants shown in Herald flashback. The 3 giants. Yo, these 3 over here, I know. And even a big boy, an ancient giant over there. I mean, you say you forgot about that, but I did not remember this at all. Like, it doesn't even look remotely familiar. And they're all frozen in place. I'm gonna assume they got frozen because Aokiji and Akainu fought. So they just essentially caught strays by Aokiji. So like, what were they doing here? Were they being experiments done by Vegapunk before it was when it was still an active research facility? But no, hold on, no, Caesar got the job from Big Mom. Like, Big Mom tasked Caesar to look into creating giants because she did not want to be the only big one sitting at the table. So, I don't know, it still doesn't add up. Caesar only took that base under him. So hold up, Caesar took that base for himself after the Aokiji and Akainu fight. But did he choose that simply because the giants are there? That he's able to experiment with them? Or was it a coincidence? And before they were frozen in place, what were they doing there? Because before Aokiji and Akainu fought, this was Vegapunk's base. So what were like they're wearing prisoner clothes. Like they're wearing Impel prisoner clothes. So what are they doing there? Now that we know Blackbeard is the son of rocks and Saturn mentioned his lineage, what kind of tribe race will have belonged to? Blackbeard? If anything, it has something to do with like the people that don't sleep at night. Like some snowy country, maybe? No, Shadow might have been a previous ice fruit user, otherwise the timelines don't add up. No, so 56 years ago, they were captured. They were not killed, they were captured. We don't know where they were taken, but they're all wearing prisoner clothes. So during that time, they were probably held prisoner here in Punk Hazard. Like, would Vegapunk be someone to experiment on people? They were captured long before Ja Rule got that. Oh, okay, fair. Okay, but still, like, how did they get on Punk Hazard? Unless they're not the same giants. Theories never come true, but I love it. Maybe like be tragic and would be Rock's true motivation. His dream was to bring back the dead. Okay. And also, Ja Rule was talking about hundreds of giants. Even if they were captured long before, what were they doing on Punk Hazard? I don't think this ice formation was there before Aokiji did this thing. Well, government been wanting giant soldiers for a long time, even before Big Mom. Yeah, I know, yeah. Exactly. But like... But they were supposedly caught a long time ago, even before Vegapunk's era. But they're still somehow in Punk Hazard, which was, I would assume, before Vegapunk it was still a research facility for the world government. Do you think Saturn was? Because Saturn was like the god whatever of science. You think maybe Saturn was like down here doing experiments? But like, even let's say the world government was like, for what though? I know, but they did capture King due to his race. That's how Vegapunk was able to get his. Yes, exactly. But with King is a young guy, so relatively young guy. So that King adds up in our timeline, but these giants don't. They may still be alive. I mean, Saul survived being frozen. So this might, if this was Aokiji, if this thaws out, then they might come back. And this supposedly are hundreds of them. Like, there's also a lot of them down below. Oh, it's all full of frozen people. So the bottom below are regular people, and then up top we have giants. And since elbaf has abandoned the way of the warrior, and is now all about diplomacy and that sort of stuff, and education, there's barely any warrior giants left. But we do have supposedly 100 of them frozen. What, the same devil fruit? Aokiji's fruits? That has not been mentioned before. Let's go back to what Harold says. Galera have. Oh, hold up. Right before I started stream, I saw a thumbnail from Grand Line Review. And his theory? I haven't watched the video yet, but maybe I can see it. But like he says, the Galera giants were the ones who made Pluton. And considering they're giants from like Ja Rule's time, it's possible. Ja Rule is like 400 years old, I think. Wait, how old is Ja? Okay, yeah, 345. Doesn't it seem like Emu has been preparing for a war for hundreds of years? I mean, yeah, Luffy mostly. I mean Nika, Joy Boy, whoever. That's who Emu fears the most. But why is the big question. My great enemy who? Gorosei or Emu? But who? Wait, great enemy who? Gorosei or Emu, or a separate entity, or something we have seen before. Thriller Bark means. And Vegapunk said that the world is already fighting a war without knowing. Like the world government is waging a war on everyone by constantly raising the water levels. And I still find it strange that Oda did not show us the actual reaction, the aftermath of the regular people, of the aftermath of Vegapunk's message from regular people. Because when that happened, I said on stream that Vegapunk's broadcast will launch the third great pirate age. It will be the biggest one. Because since everyone now knows that they're fighting a war pretty much without knowing and losing against the world government, there's a huge chance they'll all go out to sea and causing the biggest age of pirates so far. He also said that Ark Noah was built by them. Oh, really? I was planning to watch that video after this stream, because I didn't watch any content creators about relate to this chapter, because I wanted to go into this discussion with my own thoughts. Okay, that's interesting. No, that doesn't. No, that doesn't add up. It depends on how old. So Ja Rule was getting letters from them, and he was there when he got the final letter from the Galera giants. But the Noah was built. Like, the Noah was a promise by Joy Boy. It's like, no, that doesn't fully. It doesn't add up in the. Like, Noah should be much older than that. Unless the Galera giants are like a lineage of giants, shipwrights, that like dates back hundreds and hundreds of years, then it's possible. Please go to yeah, it is. It really is. And just like yesterday, I was streaming JJK, and the JJK fans asked me what my favorite manga thing is, and I said One Piece, and there's simply nothing like it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, as amazing as Berserk is, even though I'm not mad if people put Berserk at the top, best manga ever, to me it just doesn't reach One Piece. Like, the shit that Oda pulls. Like, hold up, where is it? He dropped this, never mentioned it. Punk Hazard was like in 2012. We're now in 2025. For 13 years, he did not touch this. He just let it stutter. Like, he just let it marinate for years and years and years. And now it's slowly becoming relevant after people, or not even forget, but like, I didn't even know it existed. 13, yeah. Now I'm confused in the timeline. Yeah, I need a drawing software, but there's no. Hold up. Can I? Can I draw? Or can I download something real quick? They're all. Damn it. Oh, this looks pretty decent. Like a timeline creator. Let's see if that's any good. The connection he pulls by foreshadowing manga to 3 deck. Yeah, it's. I don't even know what to say about it. It's fucking wild. 13 years. Wait, hold up. And there's still. Now that we're talking about giants. Now that we're talking about giants. Are we finally getting this? Because this predates. This by far predates the Punk Hazard Giants. This is 2008, I think. Never gotten like a single hint about it after that once. Nothing ever again. Oh, wait. As he said before, hold up. I think I missed some chats. So maybe from the beginning too? Oh, you mean, oh, is that what you meant? I mean, this has, like, this right here, like, we don't know shit about it, and it's, to me, one of the most intriguing things. And I'm just waiting for the payoff. Thriller Bark is now foreshadowed. I mean, there's the theory of Thriller Bark being God Valley. It's getting more legit. Because so many rock spirits were on there. And it disappearing without a trace. Being erased from the maps. It adds up. Hold up. Okay, open. Let's see if this is any good. Oh, wait, so that's how it works. Oh no, never mind, that doesn't work. So I downloaded a timeline thing, but it's related to like to our real world. It doesn't work like that, sadly. Fuck. Wait, Cerberus? Nah, that's far-fetched. I meant separate entity or something we have seen before, Thriller Bark. Is there something that predates this? Like a mystery that Oda has still not revealed yet? The only thing before this, I think, was Shanks. But even then, Shanks we did see regularly, even if it was a single panel. But this is the only time we've seen it. It says, it is fortunate that the white mist hangs over today as well, concealing the sea's bizarre face with a white veil. The sea's bizarre face, what does that mean? Fuck. The whirlpool? I mean, we've seen, I'm not gonna put any mysteries around that whirlpool. Because Luffy was in the open ocean, and even though the East Blue is a calm ocean, I'm gonna need to see more. It's definitely possible that it was unnatural, but I'm not gonna buy into that yet. Everything is the opposite. The gods are actually devils, and devils are gods. Most feel like Noah for the surface. I feel like Noah is for the surface. People to escape the floods and get to Fishman Island for safety. I mean, it is pretty big, but nah. I mean, the Noah is already down there. The multiple series revolves around different islands. Yeah, but I don't think so far this is the biggest one in terms of mystery that we know literally nothing about. I mean, the anime sort of gave its eyes, which I don't know if that's accurate or not. Like, I think the anime just took a liberty with this. Which chapter is this? Flooring Triumph. So it says, every year over 100 ships are lost completely to deep mist. This is the deep and ancient mystery from long before that day 10 years ago, when the damn, I can barely read this. Read that. Oh, hold up. Let's see. So every year, over 100 ships are completely lost to deep mist. This is a deep and ancient mystery from long before that day 10 years ago, when the great pirate ship Thriller Bark first cast its shadow across these waters. Okay, so Thriller Bark became a ship 10 years ago. Oh, no, wait, it does have a face. The panel below it. It does have eyes. Holy shit. Elbaf's literally the most mystery-filled... Speaking of mysteries on elbaf, why have we not seen Lilith yet? Lilith is with Bonnie in a old-ass research facility that looks like proper old, like first world old, not just Void Century old. Elbaf's literally okay. This one, balloon terminal getting destroyed. Raijin Island. I mean, Raijin Island, we have something to speculate on, because with Raijin Island, it's non-stop lightning, and we have Punk Hazard, which is split in half due to a supposed Aokiji and Akainu's awakening. So at least we can speculate that Raijin Islands is how it became because of a former user of Annel's Devil Fruit. At least we can speculate on that. It's most likely accurate, but maybe it's just some Grand Line weather bullshit. At least when it comes to that, we can speculate, but with these giant figures, there's nothing to go off of. The 4 bridges, yeah. Okay, the 4 bridges, that's a good one. That is a good one. Like, why are they getting built? That's a good one. And Oda was such a dick for that. Like, he took us there, showed us the bridge getting built, and just dipped out of there, never showing us anything until recently, when he told us that there's 3 more, like Tequila Wolf, Vodka Wolf, and some other shit. And just recently, I think I saw another thumbnail of that the 4 wolf bridges are meant to like connect the 4 seas together, and it's supposed to be like as high as the red line, but nah. How bridge is placed? It's like a circle. Was that confirmed? Because I don't remember that exactly. Was it mentioned that they're being built in a circle or like in a curve? Those big things are people from Skypiea. He revealed the big things. You mean these? I was not talking about that. I was talking about the Punk Hazard one. Yo, Willow Dreams, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. No, I mean, this did not need to be revealed in an SBS. Like, we saw Luffy create these shadows, the shadow himself. This is just Google showing me what I don't want to see. Like, this is more relevant to me. Okay, so how do the regions place? Just look at the map. If you got that, which map? There is no official One Piece map. What are you building? A bridge that will connect the islands. It's still far from completion. The people collapse all the time, but new workers always okay. Right, we did see Oden. We did see it in the Oden flashback. I mean, it does look like it's built in a curve, but it's hard to tell. And Oda is such a fucking madman. Yeah, what I saw was like a thumbnail that showcased this, and that like the hold up, can I? Let's see if I can draw on it. And the wolf bridge, fucking hell. This is so, like, this drawing software is so ass. Okay, like this. So this is like this. Oh my shit, what is this garbage? That the wolf bridges are supposed to end up like this. Like connecting each sea with each other. But then again, we don't know where the bridges are placed. Because Robin got flown across the world and we don't know where she landed. Where Tequila Wolf is, and after that she went to the revolutionaries. In the Oden flashback, it was not shown either. But one thing I am still doubting, why does the bridge almost the height of the red line? Does it make sense? Nothing's supposed to go past the red line. Nothing. No, don't think that's the case, because Elbaf is definitely much higher than the red line, and so is Skypiea and all the other Sky Islands. Face of the sea. They say that the devil used to become enemies of the sea. Perhaps it's not a metaphor. Maybe the sea is truly alive. Was there a sea god mentioned in the mural? I'm forgetting. Is Imu trying to summon the red? Wait, are you trying to say that the bridges are not just bridges, but they're like building a sort of summoning circle? Because that would be actually crazy. If the wolf bridges are supposed to turn into a summoning circle, that would be crazy. It does match up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sea got mad at death of. Okay, so Sea got mad. So either something that controls the seas, or the sea is seen as a god. Don't we reverse the red line? No, that would be crazy. That would be actually crazy. In the mural, he does fight something like giant. I mean, there were a lot of giant creatures in the mural. What if it's already summoned? Like while we're on Elbaf? I think we would feel the ramifications of that. Like, even though Elbaf is enormous and isolated, the red line waking up is something I think the whole world would feel. No, like the bridge was not made by destroyed or but destroyed. Oh wait, I'm dumb. No, a giant bridge in the East Blue. So one of so if one of them is in the East Blue, and they are close to the red line and calm belt. And what if it's just something very, very shallow? What if the world government is building the 4 bridges to do as I like I said, hold up. I need the thing again. Where is it? Cause it might be not as deep as we think, but just pure greed from the world government to collect tributes, taxes. So, what if this is their plan to actually create a bridge to connect all 4 seas and charge people money to use that bridge, and so they can properly close off the entrance and exit, like properly close off Reverse Mountain. If they properly close off Reverse Mountain, people would only have one choice, and that would be to use the bridge, and would supposedly only let people use the bridge if they're affiliated and pay tributes to the world government, and thus increasing their control and power over the world. Hellfire Serpent on far right, mural probably killed by Nika and turned to stone. I don't think it's killed. I don't think the serpent is killed. Being turned to stone by Hancock fruits, that I'm more on board with. Oh shit, I totally forgot that Odin mentioned in the SBS that Tequila Wolf, Vodka Wolf, Rum Wolf, and Bourbon Wolf. They said they're also... Wait. Are there... Wait. It also said there's a 5th one. Wait, he did? Do you have a link for that SBS question? So I do remember I think that was a recent SBS. The name of the 4 bridges. But I don't recall a 5th question. I think I read that on stream. I don't remember a 5th bridge. So like imagine the world government fully closing Reverse Mountain, I know what that would do. Fully closing off Reverse Mountain. That might properly like further increase the water levels, the sea levels. So the water isn't flowing anymore. The water is not going up the mountain anymore. If the water level's rising, I think I don't think I'm far off with this. If this theory is accurate, that they're building a circular bridge to connect all the seas, then you'd be like, for what purpose would they do that? But if they do that and then close off reverse mountain, they'll gain all the power in the world. Like they'll have the world by the balls. No one would oppose them doing that. The only way to traverse, to do business with other seas, would be through the bridge. How did we even get to kill a wolf? The bridge is called Wolf, could be Fenrir reference. In the myth, Fenrir kills the god Odin. It's Odin, not Odin. And then he offspring eats the sun. Oh no, his offspring. I know the two wolves that chase the sun and moon. I forgot the name. The One Piece bridges have to do with the sun. Hold on, there's something. And what if the world government is deliberately rising the sea levels to keep people as far as possible from the old world? And maybe finding the old world, that's the downfall of Emu for whatever reason. There could be also the means to take... Wait, there could also be the means to take control. Like, it's not easy to travel through the sea, but if the world government had a bridge which is high as a red line, everyone... Exactly. And again, it's not... So they would... So like, exactly, the rich... Like, the richest people in the world, they would be able to use the bridge easily by just paying. But if they go further and they close off Reverse Mountain, people will be forced to use the bridges. People, like, governments... non-government affiliated countries wanting to do business with other countries, they would have to get affiliated with the world government. They would have to pay tributes to Merjois in order to use the bridge. This would be the equivalent of like using of like closing off the Suez Canal and then giving people an alternative. They only can get through by paying taxes to a certain country. Something along those lines. More convenience, more control, exactly. But what would they do about the Calm Belt though? Because people can still use the Calm Belt to travel, but only world government ships and marine ships have that technology. I was mistaken that maybe one hack and some. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yo, what up, Diva? Just shut it off? Oh, reverse. What's it called? Calm Belt? How do you shut it off? Unless they're planning to like have marine ships patrolling the Calm Belt. They should have a means to like control the Calm Belt. Amazonians due to Yudo creatures. Exactly, but how do you stop people from using the Calm Belt and forcing them to use the bridge? There would have to be a way. There would have to be a way to like take control of the Calm Belt, whether it's to patrol ships or something else. Hold up. Oh, okay, hold up, let's see. So we have the SBS question. Hello, Oda. Oh, hold up. Hello, Oda-chan. In chapter 967, that was the bridge that Roger Pirates and Oden looking at Tequila Wolf. Or was it Burden Bridge? What was the name of the planet? What is the name of the planet Luffy and his friends are adventuring on? Then Oda said, "What? What is that's your focus?" Well, first of all, the planet is called the Blue Planet, and the bridge they were looking at was not actually Tequila Wolf, you know? I won't tell you if it's Bourbon Wolf, but it's definitely not Tequila Wolf. I can tell you it's a bridge. We know there are 4 bridges after chapter 1125, but there's no way we could have known back in chapter 967. We're going back to chapter 967. Why did you think of that? Amazing. So Oda is okay, it does feel like Oda is playing with a potential 5th bridge. Yeah, give a question. Yeah, he's kind of playing with the answer. It's not hard to make the military in the area of the Calm Belt to make it harder for anyone. No, exactly, but you would need a fuck ton of ships for that. That's the question. That's the issue. And not to mention, actually the oh. Huh. But then again, like, the only people crazy enough to cross the Calm Belt and Grand Line are pirates. I don't think regular merchants would be. Regular merchants from the Northwest, South, and East Blue would cross the the Grand Line, and risk it. And even if they get past the Calm Belt, where would they go? I mean, let's say you're in the East Blue and want to go to the South Blue, you would have to cross the Calm Belt twice. You cross the Calm Belt, cross the Grand Line, then cross the Calm Belt again to get to the South Blue. But people never do that because the Calm Belts they're infested with Sea Kings. And the Grand Line itself is dangerous enough. Almost every region, if the bridge was built, would be under the world government. Yes. It would only strengthen the world government. People would pay more tribute, more taxes, raising their power, being able to have more ships patrolling. Okay, this might actually be the case. I mean, if I were to think like a power-hungry government, this would be the idea I would have. But if Oda is actually going that path is a different question. He might have something completely different in mind. And also building the bridge over the Calm Belt is kind of fucking crazy. In chapter 1125, Ivankov mentioned something about these bridges. Oh yeah, it was Ivankov who did that. Because they were... Damn. So simple, would you risk your entire life and goods just to get past the entire place? Or gets to have easy going with money? I call a merchant, but I call a merchant does not have that kind of power. In this case, it's the world government. A simple example, like Donald Trump mentioned wanting to seize the Panama Canal. It's that exact reason that I mentioned. Like he wants to have the Panama Canal under the American government, under the American flag. So every ship sailing through it will pay taxes to America. That's his, like, his idea gets laughed off as a dumb idea, but that's essentially his plan, to gain more control over the world by controlling the Suez Canal. So if that is the reason, if what we discussed here with the bridge connecting all the seas, it makes you wonder if the Grand Line is artificial. It makes you wonder if there's a possibility that the Grand Line and Calm Belts are artificially made dangerous. And the reason they don't want anyone to find Laugh-Tail is because whatever is on Laugh-Tail can reverse said danger somehow, some way. Lower the water levels. We don't know how the world used to look like when the water was at its lowest, when the sea levels were at its lowest. And that is why it said it could unite the world. Which would mean that the Red Line might actually get destroyed. I still think destroyed is metaphorical. I don't think, like, if the Red Line is a snake, you don't need to destroy it. You just have to wake it up. And you wake it up by something, somehow, which is maybe in Laugh-Tail? But Roger was there and he was too early, he said. He was too early to do whatever he needed to do in Laugh-Tail. And he left. For some reason he left. Yo, give perspective we've talked about just now. If you read what Sabo and Eva said back in page, let's pull it up. Hold up. $11.25. So Eva and Sabo. It's crazy. This feels like so long ago. But it was like half a year ago, I think. Second to last. Okay. The world will sink. And then Sabo. This explains why the first celestial dragons chose to live on the Red Line. It's the highest point on the planet. And then Eva. Hold up. There's also Tequila Wolf, Vodka Wolf, Rum Wolf, and Bourbon Wolf. Is this why they've spent the last 700 years forcing slaves to build all those gigantic bridges? All the pieces are falling into place. We must hurry and achieve victory for our cause before people of the world kill each other to secure habitable land. Either you do that, or you simply lower the water levels. Read his dialogues full? Wait, what do you mean? Which he said to read Sabo and Ivankov's dialogues, right? Ivankov's huh? I mean, what Dave said is what we've discussed. There's also tequila wolf, vodka wolf, rum wolf, and bourbon wolf. This is why they've spent the last 700 years forcing slaves to build all those gigantic structures. Even saying that those gigantic structures are... Even saying that those are gigantic structures as compared to a Grand Line. Oh! You mean referring to the Grand Line as a structure? But it's not human made though. How long I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. I have not even made it. I've not even made it to the end of the chapter. Fucking madness. Hold up. Oh, anyway, let's continue. So we stopped at the giants. we stopped at the Galera giants, and somehow ended up discussing the wolf bridges for like 45 minutes. Now I get why Luffy destroys the Red Line. I still think I'm gonna no. Okay, so I'm fully buying into the giant snake theory. I'm fully buying into that. And if that's the case, maybe, okay, so maybe the snake is like stuck in like rocks somehow. That you have to break the rocks. Like like you have to break the outer shell, but I don't think so. Definitely not an imposter. Wait, the Red Line? And then Harold, do you think the world government was responsible? And then Ja Rule, there is no doubt that they once faced a great enemy. However, they sank deep into the ocean at a certain point in history. To be blunt. Wait, hold up. There's no doubt that they once faced a great enemy. However, they sank deep into the ocean at a certain point in history. There's probably a deeper reason in why your ideals haven't worked out, and it has nothing to do with you. The vision, Madam Shirley, but Madam Shirley did not see the Red Line getting destroyed. She saw Fishman Island getting destroyed by a man in a straw hat. And once the snake wakes up, that definitely means the destruction of Fishman Island. That or the giants, Asian giant, wait. That or Galera giants and Asian giants build Red Line? No, I'm fully back. I'm Jesus. I'm fully buying into the snake theory. That it somehow was frozen into place. Especially since the giants keep calling it the red-soaked snake. Or the blood-soaked snake. Serpent. Or the serpent soaked in blood. Oh, but isn't the island below Red Line? Yeah, it's... Wait, hold up. Hold up, So Fishman Island is a island in like 10,000 meters below the sea. And it's inside the Red Line, sort of. And if the Red Line is a serpent... How is there such a giant, massive hole in it? Unless the snake is already dead, and that's why it hasn't moved in so long, and like its whole body is like calcified into rocks. If that's the case, if the red line is a serpent, and like the hole where Fishman Island is was like whatever killed it, that's like the damage it took. If that's the case and the serpent is already dead, then yeah, you would have to destroy it. It's the mouth meets the tail portion. No, that's Reverse Mountain. Reverse Mountain is where the tail meets the mouth. Fishman Island, however, is a literal hole. Hold up. So, as you see here, one of these two ends is the mouth and the other is the tail. That's how the water flows. But Fishman Island is on the other side. It's like in the middle of the supposed serpent. And I do vaguely remember a panel showing us. Is this it? Showing us a hole in the red line. And that being where Fishman Island is. Maybe it could be the gap? But like it's in the middle of its body. Like there should be no gap there. Unless it's like a killing... Unless it's like how the snake was supposedly killed. If it is killed. So let's say in the first world, there was a giant war, and whoever fought the serpent killed it with such a massive attack that it pierced a hole in the middle of its stomach, and then it collapsed, enveloping over the world. And over those years, its body completely calcified into rocks. In the recent SBS, Oda know what the future of Shirahoshi meant. Fuck. Maybe that part's where, yeah, that's, yeah, I mean, that is not a wound anymore. If that is a literal hole in the snake, then the snake is not alive anymore. Yeah, not even... not even Marco and Law combined would be able to fix that. He said, I know it. Yeah, in Lay's SBS. Could be an opening or wound in the snake. Nika injured it. But that is a... How big was Nika then? Because that hole is the size of a country. Like, we've seen how big Fishman Island is. Like, sea kings were swimming through there. That is a massive fucking hole. Whatever caused that hole, it's got to be something bigger than Nika. Something's much more... If there is some way to revive him, maybe. Unless the red line is purely mechanical, like a mechanical snake. Which would be insane. If Imu can regenerate people... They could use the abyss power. Ooh, fuck them. Reverse the red line? It will grow twice as big than it already is. But Joy Boy and Nika built walls around Wano. okay, so supposedly Nika or Joy Boy, in his Nika form, pulled up the walls of Wano, which is not confirmed, by the way. Pulled up the walls of Wano. That is one thing. That is within the power of his devil fruit. The strongest attack Luffy has pulled out of his ass so far is the Bajrang gun. As strong as that attack is, I don't see doing that. And the strongest attack, the combined elbaf spear of, like the Hakoku sovereignty of Big Mom and Kaido, I don't think that could pull it off. I'm not sleeping on Nika. I'm just saying there's got to be something, an ancient weapon maybe. An ancient weapon will be able to pull it off, I guess. No, not confirmed, but they're taller than Zunisha. Yeah, exactly. So I feel like if Luffy wanted to, he should be able to do that too. Like pull up, like create walls that big. You know who built it? I swear to God, if you say Pika. Frankie's okay. That I'm not mad at. Hold up, check this out. I think this was used in the anime and showed us how Fishman Island is. So like you have Mer Joie, and underneath it is Fishman Island inside the hole of the red line. Pika, where the fuck you get? I mean, Pika's. Oh, I meant Pika's devil fruit. Because he has like, he can like manipulate rocks, earth, that sort of stuff. I meant Pika's devil fruit. Whoever his old devil fruit user was, way back when. Ancient weapons, maybe terraforming machines, Pluton, use lava in make islands. Pluton is a ship though, right? And there's still Uranus. We're not sure if that's what the Mother Flame was used on. And the massive tree that brings sunlight, yeah. The Eve's tree that like goes all the way down to Fishman Island. Anyway, let's continue the damn chapter. I think there's all something that had to do with the moon. Not even if we're bringing the moon into this. We're definitely going to the moon. Okay, maybe not going to the moon, but we're definitely getting a miniature moon arc somehow, someday, somewhen. That's longer than 10,000 meters? Right, because it's like way up top and it goes all the way. Yeah, it's larger. Yeah. Compared for the Atom Tree, and the Atom Tree is definitely, it's definitely higher, taller than, way higher than the Sky Islands. If my calculations were accurate. So they were sank. These are just rumors, but I also heard a story about frozen army of giants somewhere. It seems our people are regarded as enemies of the larger world. And then Herald. Clearly, but I've already resolved to face any hurdle. These are just rumors, but I also heard a story about a frozen army of giants somewhere. And that's the army in Punk Hazard. How in the how do you even write a story like that? And we have Loki growing up. What if the lab was built upon the giants? Possible. Definitely possible. And then Caesar specifically chose to take that as his base for the giant research. But that doesn't fully add up either, because he said he essentially admitted he was just conning Big Mom to keep her satisfied. Yeah, so Loki growing up, being a little rebel, trying to fight everyone. Smacks Hajrun. Loki spread pain and destruction, but nothing he did filled the hole in his own heart. Jumped down, supposedly 10 kilometers, supposedly from like Fishman Island height. Or not Fishman Island, from Skypiea height. Did what Kaido did. I cannot even die. I just remember we can just so fixate on Harold being fraud. Yeah, I mean, we still have to. There was still some inside stuff going on. Whatever it is, we're gonna find out this flashback, I think. But yeah, he got fucked over by half of it. And I've done my calculations a while ago, but like look at these mountains over here. If these are like the average size of a regular mountain, so let's take an extreme example. The height Mount Everest is 8 kilometers. So Mount Everest is almost as high as Skypiea, at least the peak of it. If these are regular mountains, we should be able to like give them about 1 or 2k kilometers. So one or two. Gee, what am I even saying? One or 2 kilometers per mountain. So let's say, for the sake of argument, let's say 1.5. Then over here should be around 3 meters. Over here should be around 3, 6.5. Oh no, geez, I can talk. I can count 4.5. It should be around. No, it should be around 10k. Maybe not exactly thinking, but it should be around that height. I don't think it's half the height of Skypiea. Because these are regular mountains. These are not. Those rules ain't working. So how high would you say? How tall would you say those mountains are? Because look at Luffy looking at those mountains. Those look like regular mountains in front of Luffy. Even by giant standards. The Sun Realm red line height 7,000. No, the red line is not at 7 kilometers high, right? No, the Heaven Realm is way above. The Heaven Realm definitely is way above Skypiea. The Sun Realm should be around Skypiea height. I'll even say it's a bit lower than Skypiea if necessary. But the Heaven Realm is definitely way above it. Zunisha was 35. Yeah, that was crazy. Zunisha being 35 kilometers early on was kind of wild. Which it would be looking down on Skypiea. Like it would walk through Skypiea like it was nothing. But now 5 kilometers, Wano was taller than Zunisha. Wano was taller than Zunisha. But was it? Because Zunisha was looking up at Onigashima. Onigashima was floating above Wano. Do you think Wano was about this height? I'm actually getting lost now. Zunisha being 5 kilometers. So Onigashima itself was fucking massive. And it was within Wano. Yeah, from sea level, Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, Oda. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait for Oda to give us actual numbers. Because the drawing, like Oda drawing heights, he's never consistent with that. So we'll just have to rely on SBS numbers. Oda's won again. I mean, we never win when we discuss heights in One Piece. But now we get to this, and I've already discussed this a lot during the live stream. I was so dumbfounded when I got to this. I was looking at his face, like it was like this. I didn't see the text below, and I was just looking at his face, and I was like, why does he look so familiar? Like he looked so familiar, I couldn't point out why he looked familiar. He's fucking Blackbeard. I couldn't put my finger on it. It's just fucking a Blackbeard. So he's like 10 kilometers by. If we can go rocket half of it. It's definitely not that far. Yeah, but post Wano, ever since you got Nika, Luffy's powers, even outside of Gear 5, have gone off the charts. But this is insane. Harold spotted this particular man 8 years ago during the Reverie. He single-handedly killed a Navy admiral and vanished without a trace. And this feat earned him a massive bounty and the government's ire. Future captain of Rocks Pirates, father of Emperor Blackbeard. Single-handedly killing a Navy admiral on Mer Joie. And vanished without a trace. And that sentence, vanished without a trace, is the only reason I'm willing to buy into the OPOP theory that he had it. Because that's within the power to disappear without a trace. You could just pop out of there. And someone like Zebek should be able to create a room spanning kilometers all over and just teleport. What if the admirals relate to Spandam and damn. That that would be crazy. Nah. Pre-cat, yeah, I mean, he's still, I mean, he has white beard and Shiki under him. So what, is he not captain here yet? And like who the fuck got that mountain? Like, was it Shiki? And also, why did they cut that mountain? Wait, in my translations, Rocks the Zebek was like Rocks the Which translation have you been reading? It's always been Rocks the Zebek. Second, we'll find Harold here, yeah? Oh, I really hope we get a conversation between Rox and Harold. That would be so dope. If next chapter, we just get to see, get like 2 or 3 pages of just Zebek and Harold just chatting. Battling is insane. I wonder why Oda didn't show him from a normal angle. Obese guys delivered trash is damn okay. It would be so dope if we just have Zebek and Harold chatting, just talking. Man. A lot of people are saying that we're not gonna see Zebek anymore after this panel, after this page. But I think we're gonna get some more. Because we have seen him interact with Loki in a previous chapter. Or like beat the shit out of Loki. So we're gonna see at least some more. Some interaction between Loki and Zebek. But now that he wants to talk to Harold, he has all his teeth, he's not fat. Like, he had a proper glow up compared to Blackbeard. Okay, fuck. I'm actually getting hungry. Like, I also don't understand people. Like, people were so... I had quite a bit of people in my chat yesterday. And I was so hung up on, like, reading these... like, this was so fascinating to me. And I was, like, taking my time reading them. And people were like, nah, keep reading, keep reading. And obviously, like, this reveal is phenomenal. It's probably the highlight of the chapter. But do not skip over this shit. Like, do not let it steal the spotlight. Like, it's not this. Like, this is not the entire chapter. Like, there was so much discussed. Like, the entire chapter is amazing. Like, it's even right now. Like, the hype has like settled a bit for me. It's a 10 out of 10 chapter, straight up. 10 out of 10 chapter. If Blackbeard was handsome type, yeah. And it's a 10 out of 10 chapter because every single page was so good and like relevant to everything, progressing the story. People are quick fixes, yeah. So much that might go. No, that's why I did this stream, because I streamed pretty late yesterday or Thursday. I streamed pretty late. And I only had time to discuss the Zebek stuff because it was almost like it was getting close to midnight, and I had no time to like discuss what we discussed. Like, 2.5 hours. Like I spent 2.5 hours just discussing uh the entire chapter, and not because only the chapter. Like I was taking detours to like connecting dots. I hope you get more chapters like this, man. Would be really dope if like giving us chapters to where so that I'm able to like do another stream just to discuss. Can we go line to line? Like the entire chapter? Or a specific panel? Because I'm not gonna do the entire chapter again. Well, I'm not gonna do the entire chapter again, no. That's essentially what I did. Like I did the most important stuff. Like I glossed over the Big Mom stuff because that's what we already knew. I focused a bit on the famine stuff and came to the conclusion that it's not necessarily relevant, but it's to showcase how quick people were willing to like put the blame on Loki, and with a potential Fimbulwinter reference, Estrid being a garbage human, giants being garbage humans to children. I've already discussed everything. I'm not gonna go through everything again. That's what this whole stream was for. And I really hope you get another jam-packed chapter to. But like, how did Rox slice the mountain though? He doesn't. The one with the mountain is the one with the swords is Shiki. So how did Zebek do it? Well, but either way, whoever did it, why did they slice the mountain? Look at his fingers. People mentioned the finger 2 days ago on stream, but he's asked. You better say yes to both these questions. Like he's mentioning, like, is this elbaf and is a herald here? That's what the fingers are referring to. Like, people were using the fingers as a argument for the OP no Mi, but I'm against that. The only thing that's maybe proof for the OP no Mi is this: vanished without a trace. That does coincide with that does add up. That is within the powers of the OP no Mi. He can vanish if he wants. And even then, like Law cannot cut without his sword. Like he creates a room and then cuts using the sword. Like he'd not do that on his own. I gotta say, Whitebeard's coat is pretty sick. Like a long black coat. Awesome. Okay. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Imagine had the OP open me, Blackbeard tried to get it by killing Law. That would be so many. I mean, that is still not enough evidence for me because Blackbeard is a devil fruit chaser. Like, he collects devil fruits. He went after Hancock's devil fruit too. Like, I'm not against Zebek having the OP no me. Like, I'm not against it at all. I just need... It would make sense if he had it. Could it be like Ryakoku's Rokushiki? Oh, Rankyaku. Rokushiki, but with the hands like... Look, I mean, that would be sick. Like, if he created a room and like did a Rankyaku. That would be sick. Okay, so I'm actually gonna end it here. It's this American stuff, people are saying that he holds double devil fruit. I mean, he might, considering he's Blackbeard's devil fruit. Jesus, considering he's Blackbeard's dad, he might. But then again, we still don't know. We still don't know anything. We don't know if it's like because of his tribe, because of his race. Is it through a specific devil fruit power that he's able to do that? I'm gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, I need to get me some dinner. You guys, thank you all for joining. Thank you for watching. If you haven't done it yet, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you on Friday for One Piece. Peace out.